So what brought you into the field of international ed development? Were there any particular experiences that you had in your career that kind of guided you here?
My mother was, she has a PhD in early childhood education, and I was her PhD thesis.
I thought that's where that was going.
Because of that example of my mother and then her working in inner cities in the U.S. for her entire career, even though she could have been a professor in a place like this. She decided she wanted to work in the poorest of the poor. Was that idea of taking the opportunities we have and implementing them and trying to use the research-based evidence in the sort of communities that are most in need was something that was part of my upbringing, and just fell in love with Sub-Saharan Africa, my first visit when I was in university.
This was by accident.
Those are the best stories typically. So.
I got a phone call out the blue, literally from the Human Sciences Research Council to say, we'd really like you to come and work for us. Around about that time, somebody persuaded me to do a PhD. And then the next thing I knew, I was running the Trends in Mathematics and Science study there. Wow,
I like how you said someone persuaded you to do a PhD.
Well, it's a long story. I'm not that young. I'm not going to give you my curriculum vitae because it started last millennium. But I'm a statistician by training. So I came into education through the way of education indicators. And gradually also through the planning and management of education systems.
First, I am from a developing country. That's something that helps. So we have a lot of sensibility about the issue of being at a disadvantaged situation at the global level. I am an economist, and I was most of the time interested in the issue of poverty and inequality. If you don't address education and health, that are the basic enablers to overcome the situation, you don't solve anything. So at the end of the day, you have to go to the origin and try to see how you sort it out.
When I was studying the program, the type of program that you're on, I was studying adult literacy. I was studying the works of Paulo Freire. Because while I was learning about education, studying education, I was also teaching. I was also teaching night classes in adult literacy.
Applying
theory. And then I became more interested in the globalized perspective, aware that there are very large-scale adult literacy programs going on elsewhere in the world.
It was doing a norming study in a clinical setting during my master's. That really highlighted to me the role that mothers do play in their children's development. Just the stark disparities that were there based on maternal education was just kind of got me fascinated in the entire field.